I want to talk briefly about what took place in San Francisco. San Francisco used to be one of the most beautiful cities, not just in America, but in the world. We used to enjoy going there years and years ago. We lived in California. That was one of our favorite cities, not the politics, obviously, but the water, the food, different events there. I would step in San Francisco if you paid me. I was there over a year ago at an event. My wife and I drove down the roads. It looks like LA. The amount of people on the street, Union Square, the stores in Union Square are being attacked and burgled. It is not safe. There's drug paraphernalia everywhere. It's a frightening scene. And it's a scene that's repeated throughout the state of California and all these Democrat-run cities. So when you have a man who is an illegal alien because he overstayed his visa from Canada, who has a criminal record, who is a serial drug abuser, who is homeless, who's obviously unhinged, hooking up with this nudist, whatever, who has posted all kinds of radicalized, bizarre statements about society, about life, and about politics. And he's on the run in a city that lets criminals in the front door and out the back door because of this phony bail reform. To have the governor of a state that is crumbling like that, Gavin Newsom, who's spending all his time now, if not on his hair, running for president, to blame Fox News and Jesse Waters for what took place against Paul Pelosi is sickening, absolutely sickening.
I've seen the dehumanization of Nancy Pelosi. I don't think anyone's been dehumanized like she has consistently. I mean, I watched this one guy, was it Jesse Waters or something on Fox News, what he's been saying about Paul Pelosi the last 5-6 months, mocking him consistently. Don't tell me that's not aiding and abetting all this. Of course it is.
The fact of the matter is he is a failed governor, that what happens to people in that state is outrageous. Even the police chief said this sort of thing happens every day, maybe not with a hammer. In the city of San Francisco, the police have to confront this sort of thing. It happens every day. If you are going to endorse policies and celebrate policies as progressive, and righteously do it, that are damaging to society, law and order, the civil society, tradition, morality, and every day endorse this sort of thing, if you're going to tie the hands of police like no other state has, basically eliminating immunity. I've talked to these cops, particularly the cops in the cities there, in San Francisco and LA. When we went there, we talked to them. If you are going to conduct yourself that way as the chief executive of a state, what do you think's going to happen? You lie about crime in red states because you think that gives you an out? Crime in red states is like every other state. It occurs in the metropolitan areas, the most populated parts of their state, which are run by Democrats. Pennsylvania is a fairly peaceful state, except when you include Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, and especially Philadelphia, because of the absolute Soros nut jobs that run Philadelphia and the DA there. You have the Republican legislature wanting to impeach him. The Democrat governor won't go for that. And so that's what they mean when they say, look, we have less crime than the red states. It's a lie. But statistics don't help people. They don't save people's lives. So when it comes to Paul Pelosi, this is sort of the pinnacle of what happens when you have a city running wild. People are trying to leave San Francisco. It wasn't long ago when you couldn't afford anything in San Francisco. You couldn't wait to live in San Francisco. But why do wealthy people or privileged people or politicians, in the case of the Pelosi's, all those things, think that they're exempt? Why do they think they're exempt? They're not exempt. And so this isn't the Republican Party. So the Democrat Party machinery, that is the Democrats, their media, immediately jump in on this Paul Pelosi thing and blame the Republicans and their rhetoric. Republicans and their rhetoric. You have a president of the United States who says the most damn stupid things, who unleashes these attacks against half the country, who gave a sickening speech in front of Independence Hall, and who does this all the time, divides this country. You have Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi, if we're honest with ourselves, has been a very dark person when it comes to our politics. That is, she's been poisonous. She has been vile towards the former president, towards Kevin McCarthy. She calls people names all the time. And she's been applauded and celebrated for this by the big media. And now they talk about in the Washington Post and Vox, in the New York Times, how the Republicans have spent 20 years demonizing her. So let me get this straight. So in 2007, if there was a campaign running demonizing, quote unquote, Nancy Pelosi, some nutjob who wasn't even here from Canada, that influenced him? That didn't influence him. That guy probably doesn't even know who Jesse Waters is, probably doesn't even watch Fox, but even if he does, he's free to do what he's doing because the city of San Francisco and the state of California allow it.
Want to see more? Sign up for LevinTV.